He's given us some information relative to the African American in the criminal justice system. And of course, Dr. Sanford, let's pick up where we left off and give you an opportunity over the last 10 minutes in a real sense to sort of give our audience as much information as you possibly can in reference to African Americans in the criminal justice system from any perspective that you'd like to take.
Okay, and again, I think as we started talking, we see this as social structural, meaning the many institutions that make up the society that we live in and the interconnections I would like the listening audience to understand. So when we think about the family, if that's strong, then you find a decline in negative activity with the criminal justice system. But within our society, if economics is declining, people don't have jobs, it impacts family. And then you have religion, and if you have families in decline, economics in decline, and religion is trying to do their best to help those families, but they don't come up to par, you find an increase in issues there, such as the Ferguson. So then you find the government that gets involved, and they are trying to create certain programs that might help low-income urban areas or either rural areas that might be low income. So I'm trying to get you to see that within those major institutions, there's an interconnection between there. When those things are good, then we'll find the criminal justice system and people not being deviant within the society in which we live in. So we can almost give kudos to, President Obama on that national government institutional level of saying, how can we help families have better health care? How can we help families have pre-kindergarten and kindergarten for everyone within the society, so that hopefully that would impact the criminal justice system in a different way. But even given that, I'm talking, as we may mention to the last segment, about the disproportionate amount of people that are in prison, the disproportionate amount of people that are in the criminal justice system, the behavior that those who are in authority, such as police, and in the actions of Martin or Brown or Gardner or the kid in Cleveland that was shot, how do we have a more humanitarian way within our criminal justice system, along with the positive and good things about the system? Because it does keep order. If we can imagine it not having a criminal justice or policing, it would be chaotic. It would be running amok with people out in the society. So it does a good job, but we need to look at the weak parts of it and try to bring some reform. I think reform is the issue. How can we change it so it can improve? Because there's definitely a disproportionate amount of it that then would make sociologists and social psychologists see that it appears to be disproportionate to African Americans and other minorities, and in that minority group, it can be any ethnic group or the bashing of gay brothers, lesbian sisters, or anyone that might consider themselves marginalized within the society in which we live in. So that becomes very crucial to look at, I think, within the society.
Dr. Sanford, let's look at some of the solutions. I would imagine that you've been involved with a large number of folks dealing with solutions and et cetera.
Yes.
Let's use the rest of this time to think in terms of how do we move toward solving some of the issues that we have here. Certainly we can't do it on this show, but at least give us some ideas to the path that we could possibly take in terms of trying to bring some answers to some of the problems that we have.
Yes. Well, just as I would like to share as I open up with my experience of working with the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives, just as this chief of police here in Davidson County convened with other ministers, and we had a discussion about the Ferguson issue so that people could have some clarity about community type of service from policing and how that could possibly not occur here and be proactive. So one of the solutions, I think, is having a good community relationship with authorities such as the police officers and the mayor and that group of people, so that we can have some continuity on understanding the issue, the concern, and the problems within the community. Second, coming from that framework of law enforcement agencies, we